What's good, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you had a great weekend. It was a good weekend. The Mayweather McGregor fight. Everybody was watching. Everybody was talking about it all weekend long. Um, it was a pretty dope fight actually. I I give my hats off to McGregor, man, because he's not even a boxer. Like, this was the first time he ever stepped in a ring professionally as a boxer, and he went the distance. Like, he put up a good fight. I you know I gotta salute that. He definitely put up a good fight. It was a dope fight. Me, on the other hand, I did not pay for that fight. I did not. I'm gonna tell you why. I am not paying $100 for a boxing match. I feel like that's ridiculous. No, I'm not paying that. That's like, I could have, but I was like, hell no, nah, I'm not paying 100. Nope. I went on the Periscope. I watched it live on the live stream, and I was happy with that. I was like, yeah, it's not worth $100 to me. Like, hell no, nah, I can't do it. But yeah, it was a good fight, man. Good, really good fight. But anyway, getting into this episode of GH. Um, shit, where do I begin? Let me just get this out the way. Sonny, Carly, Alexis. Okay, I understand why Carly was celebrating with champagne, but at least Sonny showed Alexis some empathy for what she was going through and stuff like that. Carly got on my nerves with her smug ass attitude. Like, I get it, she don't like Julian, and I respect that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how she feel because Julian did, cause some problems for her family. So I understand. She has a right to feel that way. She considered him an enemy. Her enemy was taken care of, so she's celebrating. I definitely respect it. You know what I mean? But her comments towards Alexis, I felt were off base, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Carly sat there talking about some. Oh, Sonny was saying how Julian had blood on his hand, and Alexis reminded Sonny that your hands are not clean. But Carly talking about Julian put a knife to your throat though. Really, Carly? This is what I've been wanting to talk about for a minute now because it's so funny how people keep bringing up the fact that Julian held a knife on Alexis. Here's the thing. Did y'all forget 4 years ago when Olivia was dying? Well, Sonny thought Olivia was going to die because of the hit that Carly ordered Sean to do on Franco, and it got botched and Olivia Falconeri got shot instead. Remember Sonny threatening Carly's life? Not only did he threaten her multiple times, he actually was in her house when she got home with a gun pointed at her, threatening to shoot her. Did y'all forget that? But yet Julian is worse than Sonny though. Everybody loves to bring up the fact Julian held the knife on Alexis, but y'all fail to ever bring up how Sonny held a gun on Carly. Granted, they weren't married at the time, but still, that was his ex-wife 4 times over, plus the mother of his kids, and he still threatened her life with a gun. The difference is Julian told the court and he told Alexis privately he never was gonna kill Alexis. Carly asked Sonny 4 years ago, was he really going to shoot her? Sonny never answered the question. He skated around the question. He never answered. But yet people want to talk shit about Julian, though, and try to say Sonny's a man of honor. Carly, sit the fuck down. He ain't no man of honor. Just 4 years ago, he was going to fucking shoot you and not think twice about it. But you seem to have forgotten that, though. I think everybody forgot that, and that's a sad thing. Like, if you're gonna throw stones, you know what I mean? Like me, I play fair. I'm not saying Julian is perfect, but call a fucking spade a spade. Be fair. Like, don't sit there and go off on Julian, but yet you act like Sonny is so fucking saint because he's not. Like, he's done his dirt. And he actually shot Carly in the head. Granted, it was by accident, but he still shot her. So yeah, how many times has Sonny called Carly a bitch? How many times has he called her a whore? More times than I plan on counting. I'm gonna tell you that right now. How many times has Julian called Alexis out her name? I can't remember when he ever did. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hit my comments and let me know, when did Julian ever call Alexis a bitch? When did Julian ever call Alexis a whore? When? And then comment me and tell me how many times has Sonny called that to Carly. But yet people want to stand on their high ground, their high moral ground, kissing Sonny's ass. Get the hell out of here with that. Come on now, be real. Let's be real. I don't have a problem with calling people out on their shit, but it's like, come on, I'm fair with it though. You know what I mean? Julian, yeah, he was stupid as fuck for not telling nobody Olivia was alive. She was pulling this, she was doing this. I'm always gonna feel like he was stupid for that. He was. He has his faults. But if you wanna pull the trump card and say who's worse, I'm sorry, but Sonny is worse than him. However you look at it, he's worse. People say, oh, but Julian used Morgan against Sonny when he first came to town. Okay. Sonny, look what he did to Scott Baldwin's daughter Karen. He got her hooked on drugs, had her stripping in his strip club. But people don't never want to bring that up though. Did Julian have Morgan out there selling drugs? Did he? No. Not excusing what he did because it was fucked up him using Morgan against Sonny. But I mean, come on, if y'all gonna throw some shit out there, be fair about it. Cause it can be slung both ways. They're both no better than the other, in my opinion. Sonny sometimes he has his moments where he can be worse than Julian, but they're on equal footing in ways. Sometimes Julian comes out better looking than Sonny, you know, in certain areas. But it's like, with the violence and the shit that they do, it's like one is better than the other in some cases, not always. But I mean, be fair. And I'm being fair. I mean, I could talk some shit about Julian, but I could also say a lot of shit about Sonny. But anyway, moving on from that. Um, Sonny has this notion that he's gonna have a meeting with the five families tomorrow, and he's telling them that he's retiring. I, for one, do not believe Sonny's leaving the business. I don't care how they write this storyline. I don't believe Sonny's ever gonna fully be out. I don't believe it. He might partially be out one day. Fully, I don't see it because for me, I understand that it's a TV show and they don't write stuff like realistically. But in this case, there's no way Sonny can leave the business unscathed. There's no way. When you've been in the mob over 20 years, you hold prime real estate, and it's already been mentioned numerous times. Sonny holds the best real estate in town. His territories are the best. Everybody's gunning for it. Everybody wants it. He got the best peers, all of that. You mean to tell me you could just walk away? You've been in the game over 20 years, got the best territory, you know way too much, and you think they just gonna let you walk away? That's impossible. The only way to walk away is either you go into witness protection, meaning you leave Port Charles forever, you change your name, never to be seen again or heard from, or you go to prison, or you die. Those are your options. There is no just quitting the business. That shit is unheard of. Nobody does that. Nobody. Only way you're doing that is if you don't know that much and you don't hold that much power or real estate as it is. That's the only way you could cleanly walk away in some cases. Julian, he can walk away because Julian wasn't really in the business like that. Back in the 80s, he was in the business with his father, but people thought he died and then he came back 4 years ago. So he doesn't really hold the power that Sonny holds. He doesn't hold the territory. He don't hold none of that. His organization is dismantled. It's been dismantled for well over a year now. So he has no organization. So it's easy for him to get away. Sonny, not so much. I'm surprised Jason got away the way he did. I'm surprised he's been living this life that, this domesticated life. Jason has murdered a lot of people for Sonny. So for him to be living this domesticated life right now is kind of unbelievable. Seeing as how he murdered a lot of people in Sonny's order. So it's kind of unrealistic for him too to just walk away. He was Sonny's right hand man. Hell, he was a co-owner in the organization. I just don't believe it. By hook or crook, it don't matter which actor plays Jason Morgan. It could be Steve Burton, it could be Billy Miller. Either way, I have a feeling Jason's gonna go back to work for Sonny full time. It's just how I feel. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's where they're going with this. Sonny has no intention of leaving that building. He probably does have an intention of leaving, but it ain't like he gonna get out. It wouldn't be realistic. He'd walk away scot free after all these years. Hell no. He's told Brenda, he told Dante, All these years he kept telling them he could never lead a business. So why is it so different now? He can't leave. It's impossible. The longer you stay in, the more powerful you get, the harder it's gonna get for you to walk away. And right now, it's impossible for Sonny to walk away scot free. Not without those three options I named earlier. It's gonna be impossible. Um, Sam was cool about it though. She wanted Jason to go to the meeting with Sonny because, it's backup to reassure the families that yeah, he's getting out the business and stuff. She wasn't tripping about it. Um, I love the scene with Lucy Coe when she was with Scott and she was reading the letter that Lee Baldwin left her. And it was a nice ass letter. Like he really like opened his heart to Lucy and let her know how she felt in that letter. You know what I'm saying? How he felt about her in that letter. And not only that, he actually left her his offices, which Scott mentioned as prime real estate. He actually left, his offices for her to do something great. For her to build an empire if she want to. I feel like that would be a good idea. I think Lucy should definitely revive Coco Cosmetics. And I definitely want to see her and Scott get back together because it's always been chemistry between her and Scott. And they would be funny as hell together. Like their banter back and forth is hilarious. I definitely want to see Scott and Lucy get married again because I definitely think that they're the it couple. They're in game. You know what I mean? I always like Scott with Lucy. Like she's different. Opposites attract, and they're both polar opposite of each other. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing Lucy and Scott back together. Um, Moving on from that, Christina in this lesbian bar. When the fuck did the Floating Rib start doing lesbian night at the Floating Rib? I didn't know they did that. So she called up Valerie. They went to the Floating Rib. Valerie quickly deduced and realized that it's basically lesbian night. Christina dragged her to. So they drinking or whatever, and in comes Parker. I'm not surprised. Parker come waltz her ass up in there. Um, she apparently has a date. She met a chick there. I swear to God, that chick Parker was with was bad as fuck. She was blazing. That girl Parker was with was blazing. All four of them look good. I take all four of them home. I don't care if y'all lesbians or not. We can have a menage a four. We can have a menage a five. I don't give a fuck. They all look sexy. That's all I got to say about that. Um, so Valerie decided to make Parker jealous by kissing Christina. Christina definitely was shocked by it, but you could tell she liked it. I feel like Parker need to take her predator ass somewhere. Parker, I feel like I know some people say age ain't nothing but a number, but Parker is too old for Christina. She's a little bit more mature than her, but also she's a professor. You know what I'm saying? She was once Christina's professor, and I just feel like that's some predator shit. You know what I mean? That's like Mary Kay Letourneau. If you never heard of Mary Kay, I think it's Letourneau. Look her up on Google. She was that teacher that slept with her Hispanic student. I think he was like 13, 14. Got pregnant by him. She went to prison because of that. Got out, got pregnant by him. They had two kids together. They got married. That was a nasty bitch. They made a movie about that shit. They made a TV movie about her. That shit was nasty. I said, this bitch slept with a 13, 14-year-old boy. You're disgusting. And she was damn near 40 at the time. I said, she is nasty. She had a husband and probably like three other kids with her husband at the time she was screwing her student. I said that was some nasty shit. So Mary Kay Letourneau, look that up on Google, read about it. I think her last name Letourneau, I think. Something like that. That bitch was predatory. Like she was predator. That's some predator shit. And Parker gives me that vibe. Like she was jealous as fuck when she seen Valerie kiss Christina. But I'd rather see Valerie and Christina together because they are closer in age and they do have chemistry. So I'd rather see them together. Hopefully the writers are building towards that. Because I prefer to see the two of them rather than Parker and Christina. I just feel like that's a played out story. Maybe they're doing this Parker thing to lead to Valerie and Christina. Maybe that's what they're doing. I think because when Christina brought Valerie there, I kind of felt like she was trying to turn her out. Because we all know Valerie, when she first came in here, she was like, "Where the hell are the men?" And when she noticed that it was all women up in there, she quickly realized, yeah, this is lesbian night. But I think Christina definitely about to turn Valerie. 'Cause I already suspect Valerie is bisexual, and she already unlucky in love when it comes to men. So she might want to dip into the lady pond herself. Who knows? I think Valerie is fucking gorgeous though. She's gorgeous. So anyway, I think that's everything on this episode. I believe. I think that's everything. Oh, Franco. I almost forgot Franco. Because this is actually something I've been wanting to talk about too. But with everybody else's storyline, I kind of forgot about Franco. He got a whole bunch of boxes. You know what that reminded me of when he was moving into Elizabeth's house? Remember when he moved into Carly's house when him and Carly was dating? He had so many crates and boxes in Carly's house. That shit was ridiculous. And now he got so many more boxes in Elizabeth's house. So Jake and I guess they found a painting or whatever of him and that imaginary friend he was talking about. I believe, and then he showed a picture. He found a picture of him and another boy, and the boy looked like he had blonde hair. I said, "Oh hell no!" So they really going through with this storyline that he had a brother. He had another brother. So I'm confused how they gonna do this. Like, so was Heather Weber lying the whole time? Like, she remember initially she said her cousin Susan, which is Jason's mother, biological mother, had twins. So I think Heather was lying. Heather had twins herself, I believe. So her and Scott, I think, have another child out there. They got another son. I think her and Scott might have another son. I'm not really sure if she had twins or if she had another child before Franco, because we already know about Steve, her other son, Steve Weber with Jeff Weber. But I don't know how they doing this. Like, I don't really know what the scenario is that they're going for. Like, is this did she have twins or one blonde hair boy and another brunette boy? I don't know. I'm interested in finding out because I have a feeling one of these Jasons is definitely probably Franco's brother, either BM or Steve Burton. One of them is Jason's brother. I mean Franco's brother. I don't know which one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by his toe. I don't know. If he holler, let that motherfucker know. I don't know. Whichever one it is. But anyway, this was a decent episode. Um, hit that like button, hit that comment button. Let me know what you think. And I'll see all of you later. Have a great day. Peace.